You gasping for air, my boy.
I was tight. I was hyperventilating.
tight.
What is up, my people? Welcome back to another episode. Draw the Line Podcast. Let me tell you, we always are hyped because we love doing this. And
100%.
I love you guys. You guys are great people.
I love you too, man.
I don't care what everybody else say about y'all, bro. Y'all clean, bro.
You clean, bro.
Been saying
You
about
clean
it.
behind your ears too. I like that.
You clean behind your back.
Well-
How do you respond to that?
Well, yeah, that's why I was like, what does that mean? Johnny, what are you drinking, bro?
Man, it's some Red Bull.
Let me hold some.
Is that really Red
You wanna
Bull?
hold
Dude,
some? Yeah.
Look at this.
I
This
thought that was that tea that you brought again.
Nah, man. Whoop. Don't take too much.
That's good.
Nasty.
Anyways, guys, how are we doing? Another episode on the
Pretty
way. We just realized, actually, before this episode started, we're about to hit a whole year that we started this
Oh
thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
That
it's
is
right
insane.
We still ain't no good.
Bro, come on.
Just kidding, bro.
We're taking away your wages, everything. We're not paying you a dime anymore.
I ain't getting paid anyway.
I know, that's what I was about to say. We need the.
None of us are.
You mean that
Sad, sad.
heavenly currency?
I think, that
I'll take those
currency-
crowns, bro.
Hey, that currency is on another level. But
Come
doing
on.
it for a whole year has been pretty great. I think
It has.
by the time this episode comes out, we'll be at number 15 or so, I believe.
real?
Yeah.
Yeah, 15 or so. 15 episodes. We've been doing them consistently. Dude, that's crazy. How do y'all feel about doing this for a whole year? Like, we started this
been good.
around August, September, somewhere around there. I can't remember when this was the first time that we released
Yeah.
the first pod.
Well, I think we're barely even hitting the tip of it.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm like,
Oh,
this doesn't even feel like that much.
We did also say our trial run was from 6 months
That's
to a
true.
year. We were like, we're going
That's
to
true.
once the year comes over again, we'll assess.
Yeah.
And so I think we're going to hit that point where we're going to assess and see
That's true.
what's the next level. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I
100%.
think the growth from it has been great. I think we've grown from it, but we hope that people who have been watching this have also grown from this. Because it's never been about us. You know?
No.
I think we put a lot of effort, money, time into it.
Yeah.
We just love podcasting now, you know. So how does it make you guys feel? For a whole year we've been doing this, man. It's crazy.
I think it's pretty cool.
Okay. All
right, Johnny.
Pretty cool.
Johnny.
I mean, I've enjoyed it. I've seen just the opportunity investing in other people. It's really cool when people come up to you and say they've been listening to it.
oh, bro.
And they just make comments about
It's
it. And so
great.
I haven't heard nothing.
you're like, for real?
That's crazy.
No,
I've heard
I always
several,
heard
bro.
from other people. I never heard with my own ears. And I'm
Yeah.
like, okay.
No, I've heard from like several of our youth students.
Yeah.
I've heard from several of our friends. I've also looked at the stats of the people that are listening. We've had some that aren't even in Texas and just happen to know
Stumble
about it
upon
through social media, following us, and
Yeah.
so like that's kind of cool. I think it's always amazing to see what great lengths something like this could go, and so I just can't wait to see what else comes from it. You know, it's pretty awesome though. It's just it brings a smile to my face just hearing people say, you know, like I've been listening.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you for
Yeah.
saying this, talking about this, and it's just it always warms my heart because I'm a person that's like, you tell me, I'm a words of affirmation guy.
Yeah.
So if you tell me like, hey,
Doing a great job.
thank you, that means a lot.
Yeah.
You know, it really does. And so whenever people come up and say that stuff, like we're listening to y'all's podcast, bro, that's
Yeah. So for those all listening, watching, wherever you may be listening or watching this from, be sure to give some feedback because my boy Arnold, he could use some.
greatly appreciated.
But it really is. All
It's
of us
great.
enjoy some of the feedback. I mean, especially Danny. Come on. We need someone give Danny some feedback.
Yes.
Apparently, he has had no feedback. He needs some feedback.
Apparently, my
Have some
goodness.
love on my boy Danny.
Not like I need that thing. No, but I think
It's like,
okay.
I
Let
need
me
you.
go back to
No,
answer
no,
that
I
question. So check this out. I think that starting this a year off makes me think, how far can we go?
Yeah.
If we can do it for a year, how much more further can we take off with this thing? Well, not only this, but how many other things can we do?
Yeah.
Hmm.
How much
just-
more
we're-
can we
we're-
put
we're
in?
pumped.
We're also just innovative people. We're just like, okay,
We're-
what else can we add to this? What else can we do?
Yes, but I think the most important part that I think all three of us know is whatever we begin, we finish.
Exactly.
Because there's a
100%.
lot of people that can start things off
Yeah.
but they never finish it.
Mm-hmm.
They actually take off and then it cuts halfway.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so proud of us because we have been consistent
Yeah.
Yeah.
and we kept going and it hasn't gone downwards.
Exactly.
I'm
That's
impressed.
another level.
That's another level.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying?
Anyways,
It's been good.
it's awesome.
It
Podcast is pretty fun. It's fun. It's cool to see on Spotify that we're on there. You know,
Yeah.
YouTube we're on there.
Yeah.
I
You
like
know, like, and we're like the only ones named Draw the Line.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
it. Also, our logo is pretty unique. Hand drawn.
It is.
Oh,
hand
yeah.
drawn.
We just drew it on a piece of paper
yeah.
and we just
by
put
our
it.
very own Danny Calvillo.
Yep, he drew it on his own.
Yep.
That was you, bro.
That was all him.
Oh,
I didn't draw
I
it.
thought you did the lip.
I uploaded the graphic,
goes.
but you had the original. Like
Yep.
he drew it. Like
Honestly,
literally.
it was like, bro, why don't we just
Let's just do it.
do this? And I drew a line. I was like, what about this?
Because that was one of
Let's
the
do it.
things that we were just like, well, I don't think our graphic needs to be like super.
Fancy.
Like we had other things to worry about.
Yeah.
and
Graphic
Danny's
was
like,
not that important.
Danny's like, hey, that's the least of our worries. Here we go.
That's true,
So
bro.
then that's all. Once we got it, bro, we were good to go. But
We'll have to update eventually. Maybe a little cleanup.
I don't
or
know.
keep it.
Maybe
Maybe.
eventually we'll have some shirts,
Yeah.
merch,
some
who knows?
merchandise.
This is the year of growth. We've
Yeah.
we've tested it. We've seen it. We've stuck with it.
And you're still the same height. So there's no.
And you still ugly. So oh, no, I'm playing, bro. No, I'm playing.
Bro, hit a trigger. You triggered him.
Gets up and starts beating me up.
Anyways,
To today's discussion. No.
Danny, what's today's discussion?
so
bro?
today's discussion is about something that's pretty stinking awesome, but at the same time, it's very misunderstood. And I
Yeah.
think it's important for every single person. Now, there's something that every single college student always encourage them to learn in these 4 areas. It's an acronym called REAL.
Okay.
4 areas that you guys should learn, even adults, or it doesn't matter what age. You tell me, you guys, what do you guys think? Okay.
Yeah.
The acronym is REAL. R stands for relationships. E stands for equipping. A stands for attitude, and L stands for leadership. These are the
Okay.
4 areas that any young adult, any of you guys that are listening, or any adult, it doesn't matter who they are, we should always be growing in all 4 of these areas. Relationship, loving people, right? Equipping ourselves. Attitude, our perspective in life, and leadership, how we are leading ourselves, leading our lives, leading other people. Today's topic is the L of that REAL, which is leadership.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to
Yeah.
ask a question so we can start triggering some conversation, okay? Break. All right. Break from the light. Joker's bright. I'm getting a tan.
Like your future.
Oh, dang, I'm bright.
Dude, you just got an
Jesus.
uneven tan, my brother.
Wow. Don't look at my ankles. They'll blind you. So check this out. Now, when it comes to leadership, from your guys' perspective, each of you guys individual, we're all going to answer.
Yeah.
What is leadership for you? What is leadership for you? What is leadership for you?
Danny, you start.
I will start.
Yeah.
Okay. So I learned leadership from my mentor, Dr. Miles Monroe. Passed away in 2014. Airplane crash with his wife. I didn't know what leadership was at first. Actually, I did know what it was. I just didn't know what it was. You know what I'm saying?
What truly it was.
What it truly was. I just knew what I knew from other people and
What you've
even
heard.
what
like,
I've
just-
heard and so forth.
Yeah.
But he gave me a perspective about it that is complex definition of leadership, but it goes so much deeper than I ever thought it could. And this is the definition that I learned, okay? So just listen carefully because this is the long definition, the one that I learned. So basically, what leadership is leadership is the capacity to influence other people, right? To influence other people, motivated, which is done through inspiration, not manipulation, which is actually done, motivated by a passion that you have, which is actually produced by a vision, a preferred future that actually is birthed through a conviction, an unmoving thought about something, which is actually produced by your sense of purpose. So leadership for me, it actually begins with purpose. Most people say that leadership is influence. I agree with that. I also heard an example that, like for example, 9/11, if leadership is only influence, then 9/11 was an act of leadership because it's influenced us to go to war.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So then I was thinking in my head, and I learned it this way, me personally. I'm not saying that you need to take my ideas, but it has to come from somewhere deeper. It's got to be something more. It's got to come from, I love how what John Maxwell says. Purpose is the thing that you perceive a need and do something about it. That's where your leadership begins.
Yeah.
It begins with a sense of purpose. The reason why I'm here, the reason why my original intent. And I become, and it goes backwards in that definition.
Yeah.
Once I figure out my purpose and reason for being, the next thing you know, I start growing a conviction about the reason why I'm here.
Come on.
After that, then it grows into a vision, the way that I prefer to see my future. And then what happens from me having a vision is a passion starts rolling out.
Oh, yeah.
And once that passion starts rolling out, the next thing you know, I start inspiring the people around me.
Yeah.
Inspiration to generate meaning into the people, to the lives of the people that are always around me. I'm basically a change agent now. You can't be around me and not change. That's a 360 leader. And after the inspiration, then it comes influence. You start influencing people to change their lives, to change their worlds, to be passionate about their purpose. That's what I believe, for me, what leadership is. That's just
Mm.
I
right.
love leadership.
Next question, Johnny.
No, keep going, bro. Go
Next
ahead.
question, because he done put it out. That's good stuff.
That's some good stuff.
My
But
bad.
it
Go
puts it
ahead.
into perspective that leadership is something deeper than what you think it is already.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
I think the word leadership is already being put out into the world. And I think a lot of people have
everywhere.
a lot of people have a glimpse of it, but don't know what it takes to sometimes to actually lead people, because a lot of it has to do with you and then also with other people. And so like a lot of the times you're having to work on yourself whenever it comes to becoming a leader and becoming and being put in that role of leadership. And so it's a lot of things that are unseen and seen when it comes to leadership, I would say. Lots of stuff that I have to develop and lots of stuff that I am also developing other people, you know.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things, like, it's deeper than what people think already, hands down. Unseen and seen things, that's what leadership sometimes is. And it's just a constant development of yourself and development of people with the leadership that you have and the leadership and the leader that you were born to be, you know? So
Yeah.
Danny hit that pretty good, though. That was really good.
That's pretty
So,
good.
no, I completely agree with Arnold, because I mean, true leadership. Okay, I like to differentiate between the two: leadership versus true leadership. Leadership, sometimes people think of it as what? Positional,
It's just the position that I'm in.
like the
Title, position.
title and position of. So if I have no title or position, what does that make me?
I guess
Nothing.
that doesn't make
Nothing,
you
yeah.
a leader.
So that means I can not be a leader.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, no, it's got to be something more than that. You know what I'm saying? I learned it this way, that the difference between followers and leaders is that one decided to not compromise.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's the only difference.
Yeah.
Obviously,
good.
the thinking's different too. There's specific attitudes that a leader has in a follower, but we used to be followers.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
True.
So let's talk about the day we were followers first. How was it?
It's definitely eye opening to see what kind of leaders are out there, you know, because I think in some points, again, it was just that position. A lot of them operated out of the position, not the function, you know.
The sometimes oppressive or sometimes overpowering,
Yeah.
or
Or nonchalant, like some of them were just like, I don't care kind of
Yes.
thing. There's
Yeah.
all kinds of different people. But I think I witnessed like so many people that just looked a whole lot different from others. And then some that just failed miserably. Some that have led so well. So I got a perspective as a follower, like to see what is out there, to
Yeah.
see. And I guess at that point I was taking notes. Okay, what do I want to do? What do I not want to do?
mm-hmm.
So as a follower, it was just like it gave me a time to just view,
Yeah.
take notes, to take in, and see what kind of people are
Basically
out
becoming a spectator and observer and a student.
Yeah.
At that point. What about you, Johnny?
Yeah, for me, just seeing some leaders from early age to between people who are extremely confident who they are, their stand, their upright, their integrity is
Yep.
strong. Like they have a sense of high morals. Like they value certain things, and that was reflected through their leadership. To those who may not have a strong integrity, morals, or values, like I can see very clearly, like they they wouldn't lead strong. They're very passive. They're very very cautious and careful and soft-spoken.
Yeah.
And so it was just things, again, I'm taking in what I'm seeing, and I'm kind of evaluating like what a leader is. And for me, like understanding from my biblical side, just like I realized that at a young age, like I wanted God to be my like source, to be my everything. So looking at Jesus, I always saw him as the greatest leader. And so seeing him as a leader was always recognizing the first thing he would ever do is serve people.
Yeah.
Help people. And so I started asking myself the question, like, who are the leaders in my life that are serving people? And I start to realize that we've all been given a set of skills, talents, and we're able to now share them with the world. And so that's how you can lead. And whether you think you can't lead or not, like all of us can be leaders in a sense, because we all have a talent or skill or gift that we've been given, that God's gifted us with. And we have something to share with this world that we serve it with. And that's...
Yeah, basically what he said is that your leadership is your area of gifting.
Mm-hmm.
That's your area. Simply put, leadership, what it means is the moment that a person gets placed in a position or a role, whether for my own life, because I need to lead myself.
Mm-hmm.
You're always leading somebody, even leading yourself. You get placed in a lead position, which is now you become a leader.
Yeah.
The moment that you start taking responsibility and taking care of that role, then that's the function of leadership.
Yes.
So lead is the role. Leadership is the function of that role.
Come on.
Isn't that tight? So the moment that you take responsibility for absolutely anything, you get placed in the role. Now, the moment you start sweeping, you take leadership responsibility.
Yeah.
And that's when you start functioning leadership. Basically, yeah.
Yeah. Dang, bro, you good?
The Spirit of the Lord just came out.
I think also as you're following sometimes and you're under leadership for somebody else, I think at that time your attitude is one of the things that you notice the most. Your attitude towards being in that part where you're being led by somebody.
Yeah.
Because I think whenever I was being led by different people, either I had the attitude is like, okay, you're a bad leader, so I don't respect you. I don't care anymore. Like I'm just here to get paid, or I'm here to just finish the duty that I have, and
just
so
to get the job done and move on.
And so like I think during that time, my actual attitude was being developed as well, because I think attitude is just it's a big part of leadership as well. Your
100%.
Attitude and how you view so many things, and so I think even as a follower, there's so many things to learn. But you weren't always built to just be a follower.
100. Well, yeah, no, I completely agree with you.
I mean, there's a season where you do need to follow, but I think when there's a time where you've grown in knowledge, you can lead somebody as long as you have the right materials.
100%. I'm gonna comment on two things you just said. The first comment is that attitude is the leadership. Basically, the project 80-20 project. I think I've told you guys this in the podcast when we talked about dreams. But basically, 80-20 is that leadership is 80% attitude and 20% skill.
Yeah.
So it's not the main thing, but it is one of the most important things, is the attitude, your perspective. Because leaders and followers, they have this very distinct way of thinking. And leaders just see things differently. They see the world differently. They see themselves differently. They have this attitude of seeing things absolutely different. You know what I'm saying? What was the second thing that you said? You said after the attitude, it was something else. It's in the moment, man.
I did. Yeah. Like, I'm so focused at listening to you. Are you talking about like where I started talking about? I was talking about followers.
You're talking about attitude, and you were talking about being followers. Yes.
Yeah.
Technically, we're always following somebody. Yeah. Even when we are at a high level of leadership, we're always following somebody. You know what I'm saying? So, wouldn't you guys think that we really never leave the follower role?
No, not
You're
at
always
all.
following something.
Yeah.
There was a book, me and Danny, we both read. It's called Leading from Second Chair.
Oh, yes.
It's by Mike Boneman and Roger Patterson. And it's an amazing book. And just reading over it, I realized one thing is no matter how high of a leader you are always underneath one other person. And it's a matter of how you support that person through the process and value it. And it doesn't matter where you're at in life. Like, we're all leaders of the day. I don't care if you're the grocery clerk at a store. Like, you're a leader in that position. Like, you're going to stand up or fall short in those moments. And so how can you support the leader above you? How can you take what's been given to you? Regardless if it's bad or a good leader, there is a way you can give the very best you can give to represent as the storefront grocery clerk, taking responsibility what's given to you. And I think at the end of the day, that's really what it is about, taking responsibility what's been given to you and leading in that position the best you can.
Yeah.
And so it may not be the place you may love or whatnot. You may not be in the place where you're using all the gifts you've been given, but it's the season that you're in.
Yeah.
And how you utilize that season is a huge part of the next step in your growth.
100%. So I had a question written down, specific, but the question is, right. So here's the question: how do you guys lead yourselves? Because the first person to always begin leading is always yourself. Before you can lead others, you have to learn how to lead yourself. So how do you guys lead yourselves? And then tell us about it. What do you do? There's more questions after this.
Yeah, so many questions. So okay, how do I lead myself?
Let me rephrase the question, okay?
Yeah.
Hey, Arnold, it's going to get good. Anyways, so here's the question. What is your purpose for being in leadership? What is your purpose for being in leadership? And I think you guys need to answer these questions as well on your own. But what is your purpose? What is our purpose for being in leadership?
The growth and development of people and the roles that they're in. And then also part of that is also growing myself in, but it's not going to be a self-centered kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
for me, I would say it's to elevate and multiply what I do and grow in.
Yeah.
So whether it's the knowledge I'm taking in, I'm multiplying. Whether it's the skill trait, whether it's the position, whether it's the physical, financial, wherever it may be, like I'm going to step up and elevate and grow and multiply whatever place been placed in, because that shows the fruit that's coming out of me. And so what I feed myself is a huge value of where I'm going the next stage.
Yeah. What is the purpose for being in leadership? I think my purpose, like whenever I first started out, like in leadership, I didn't believe myself to be a leader. How many of you guys felt like that?
Yeah.
Whenever I first got in that position, I never felt it. Like I was waiting for something. You know what I'm saying? I didn't understand it. That's where the lack of knowledge of leadership made me just feel like, I don't feel like it. You say it all the time, I'm a leader, but I don't feel like it. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't until later that I understood that, which now goes to the answer. What is your purpose for being? My purpose for being in leadership is to realign people with the ultimate authority, God, and their true selves.
Yeah.
Which is truly a leader. Because I love in Genesis chapter 1, verse 26. I teach about this scripture all the time, if you know me pretty well. Genesis chapter 1, verse 26. I went to the origins of leadership.
Yeah.
Like, who invented leadership? Isn't that a great question? Who invented that? Who created it? Was it man? Because if it's man, then we got a lot of poor people out there.
Yeah.
But then I was like, who started it? Genesis chapter 1, verse 26. God, let us, the triune God, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, let us make man, which is the spirit.
Yeah.
Man, the unseen man. Man. Comes in two models, male and female, just so you know. Let us make man in our own image. Basically, image is likeness and characteristics and spiritual nature. And in our own image and likeness, which means to function like the Father as well. And then after that, and let them have what?
Have dominion.
What does that mean in original Hebrew? It means to manage. It means to lead. It means to master. So the origins of leadership begin with God. That's what's legit. How do I know that?
Man.
Because when God created man, he needed something to rule and reign over the earth on his behalf.
Yeah.
So the only thing that he had that was close enough to a leadership or a kingship, rulership kind of role was himself. So he took a piece of himself and placed it in the dirt and put it in man. Thus, we were created to be leaders. At that point, I realized that means with or without man's approval, I was actually born and made to lead. But I must submit to a process to become that leader. That's where you're talking about equipping yourself, knowledging yourself up, and etc. So my purpose for leadership is to realign people back to the authority of God, underneath him, and back to their true selves. And that is only in the image of Jesus Christ, the greatest leader that ever existed.
Amen.
That's why we need to replicate him
Yeah.
because he's the original blueprint for us.
He is the second Adam.
The second Adam, because the first. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
But that's my purpose for leadership, I think. Okay, so the second question is, what is your passion?
Was my passion.
Because usually it begins with passion too. Leadership. You go after something passionate, like we discussed. Purpose, conviction, vision, then passion arises from it.
Yeah.
So what's the passion?
Man, I know for my passion, like I'm very big and passionate about community. Like from the obvious side, I have like talents and gifts and things that I've done, like as far as video, technical. Like I can talk about those things, but like at the end of the day, like all of my passions come down to my passion just for community, to see life in community, see people grow and learn about the truth and the life that's out there. And just taking into context what we've always talked about as far as people discovering their purpose, discovering what they're meant to do and what they're meant to be, and like how much it's important that God created us all to be united and connected and to grow us all together, not as separate individuals, but we're all here to support one another, to see the kingdom move throughout the entire world. And so it's always been community for me at the end of the day, seeing that relationship grow and just multiply over the years. And just that's my passions.
100%.
I would say my passion would passion
Breathing down your neck.
passion for people and them finding their truest version of themselves, which is the one that God created. And I think that because we're human, we go through so many things in life, and I want you to know that those things in life are not the determining factor of who you are. Or who you were sent here to become, and how you can actually take those things and make a story out of that, and be able to witness to people, like, hey, this was a moment in life that taught me something and made me actually grow, or it changed my perspective, something like that. So, like, passion's always been about people and how there's so many factors in their lives that have probably set them back a little bit. But I want you to know that, like, your potential is so much higher. But it always, for people, it always stays as a potential. Like, you maybe can get there.
For the average person.
Most people, they just stay at that potential because they never go out and venture out. What is it that I truly, like, what is my truest version? And so whenever they don't start working on themselves, betting on themselves, and actually taking the risk to learn and grow more and to not compromise and all these different things, if they were to venture out and do all these things, like they would truly find a different side of them that, that they would see that God actually created them to be. And so that's why I was like, a lot of people stay at that potential, because potential is like, you have the potential to do this. That means you possibly could do this, but some people mostly stay in that potential.
I agree. The dormant ability, they stay at this level. That's this dormant place. Which there's so much more for you to go, but you stay here the whole time. Sometimes society can actually, paralyze you to be in that position. Discourage you.
We talked about it one time. Like, we have dream killers.
Yes,
we have dream
killers.
Like so you have like so many people that will like suppress it more than bring it up, kind of thing.
Outstanding.
Come on.
Yo, Ty, I like you guys.
This is good.
I ain't gonna lie. My biggest passion is basically to help people recover. Recover their lost potential, recover the time, saying that it's not too late. Like, I know it's been 60 something years. Like right now I'm working with guys that are like about 48, 50 years old. You know what I'm saying? And they're listening to me, they're trusting me to speak into their lives because of I'm telling them the truth that, hey, there's 48 years, okay. But Jesus did something in 3 years. I know you ain't Jesus, but how much can you recover? Before your time's up.
Exactly.
And that's my passion, is to help men and even women to recover the lost times, redeem the time. So that and basically go to the grave completely with nothing. Die completely empty. And that is one of my passions, just to help ignite it. I like igniting the passive guy. The one who doesn't believe in themselves, I like.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I always like to show people what they can truly do. Mm-hmm. But you don't know until somebody else encourages you or shows you. Because, I mean, we were at that stage where
heck yeah.
it took somebody, it actually took Danny to invest in me and show me, like, okay, you can do more.
Yeah.
It's just you don't know what that more looks like.
Yeah,
You
that's
haven't been
true.
led yet. You haven't been led yet. And so once he showed me what that more looks like, if I wouldn't have a game encounter with Jesus and Danny, I think at that point I would have been I wouldn't be able to do podcasting right now.
Yeah.
Who knows what all these different things I could do. It would have stayed as
Man.
that potential.
Yeah.
I could see you doing this. But that's all, I could just only see you. I don't see you doing it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
100%. I think it always takes some. I think all of us had that one moment whenever we actually started functioning in it.
It's that breakover moment, that moment that you say, I'm done. I'm done playing games. Like,
Yeah.
realization.
there's more.
Yeah.
There's more out there.
Yes. Which is one of the reasons why we call this thing to draw the line. It's
Yeah.
like, where are you going to not compromise?
Yeah.
Where is it? Where is it that you're going to do that? You know what I'm
Because
saying?
pretty much, remember when we first thought about this, we were like, okay, we tried to come in agreement. Like, what are our passions and how can we put them together?
Yes,
Yeah.
no,
And then we
100%.
developed this idea, Draw the Line podcast. And then from there, we were like, okay, all three of these passions, we can align them with what we're doing here,
Yeah.
you know? So, and I remember that because we wrote, this was also in the time when we were stressing about like the name.
Yes, we were stressing.
But we were like, okay, we'll veto the name for right now, and we'll think about like why do we want to do this? You know, what
Yeah.
are we passionate about? So I think that's pretty neat, and that's always a driving factor towards why we want something to change too. You know,
100%. Next question,
Come on.
and then we'll end it with some statements.
Yeah.
Okay. Next question is, what are your principles, standards you will never break at the best of your ability to do?
the biggest one.
Because remember, these things are the reason why we're in this lead role in the first place.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
The biggest thing is to never lose sight of Jesus.
Mm.
That's
That's
my
good.
biggest. That's my foundation. Like once I lose that, I lose myself.
Yeah.
And so that's the biggest thing right now. It's like I can't let anybody sway my decision
Yeah.
and make me lose my faith, you know. And I think if I were to ever lose that, I'd be lost again. And I know how it was before, and I'm just like, I don't think I'm gonna do that again.
Yeah.
So I set it down from day one. It's like nobody's gonna take that away from me. Like that's mine to keep. I'm gonna always keep sight of Jesus and where he is leading me, and then also the person he's created me to be, how much he loves me, how much he cares for me. But I'm not gonna let anybody come and talk in my ear and tell me differently. You know?
Mm-hmm. That reminds me of the scripture in, I think it's Luke chapter 15, where it says, apart from me, you can do nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's like whatever the thing you come from is the thing you have to stay connected to in order for you to live. Does that make sense? Whatever you came from.
Yeah.
Let's make man in our own image. We came from God. Thus, we have to stay connected to God in order for us to live. In order to lead our lives, in order to lead the people around us, in order to lead anything, we have to remain connected to. I like that. 100%. Some principles for me that I will not violate is I'm going to protect my character at all costs. You know what I'm saying?
You got to, yeah, that's a big one.
I have to. What's character? It's principles, values, and a code of ethical behavior that you choose to follow. It's basically what I'm doing in the dark. I can also do it in the light. Whatever I'm doing behind closed doors is the same thing I'm doing in open.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's no difference between
The
me
person
and
you see me as all the
I'm
time.
the same all the stinking time. I might get hype in
That's
the group, but that's just my personality. But
Yeah.
whatever. And but at the same time, I don't want to be different anywhere. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
So that's one of my principles that I have followed. I'm
good.
gonna protect my character at all costs.
Yeah.
Even losing friends. Sometimes,
Yeah.
like I can't, bro. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Come on. Hey, that's strong right there. You gotta stay true to who you are. I'd say for me, I would say it's giving the best of what I've been given, and that goes for like everything. Giving the best of the time I've been given, the best of the resources I've been given. Like no matter what, I'm gonna give my very best to everything I do, because I know for what time I have on this earth is a gift. and I don't know.
It's short.
Yeah, for
We
real.
think
I
we
don't
have
know
forever, but
when.
it's short.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't
You
know
never
when the day I'll be called home. I don't know when the day will be my last. I mean, and so if I don't know the day, it's like I'm gonna take advantage of every single day to give my very best what I have.
There you go.
Because if tomorrow's the day, that's it. What did I do with what was given to me?
100%.
When I come to Jesus, like, what will I be able to say?
Will he
I'll
be-
say I
will
gave
he-
my all.
Will he be able to say? Will
Yeah,
you be able to
you're
say?
right, you're right, you're right.
Will you be able to say
Yeah.
you did well?
That's it.
Man, that's
And I want to give my all. So I can't say I'm perfect. I won't say that every day is I gave it all, but it's like it's my anticipation, my desire is to give everything I've got every single day, and I shoot and aim for it every single day. Give my very best.
100%. I like that. So, I heard this from my mentor. Basically, if you don't have a mentor, fine. Well, on one of the podcasts in the future, we'll talk about mentors and mentees. I think it's very beneficial. I think it's very important. Everyone needs to have one. But I think he told me this. He says between 20 and 30 years old, it's okay to be experimenting this and that.
Yeah.
Between 30 and 40, you need to already be in the process of what it is you want to be doing. Between 40 and 50, you need to be thick in it doing what it is you want to be doing. And between 50 and 60, you better start distributing or giving away everything that you collected. So how old are you? That's the question.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that made me really think. I'm 30 now.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be I am in the process. I can feel it. It
You
sucks.
are, yeah.
I'm in the process. It stinks. But we need to be more intentional as leaders. Leading
Definitely.
ourselves, leading other people, be intentional. It's not about who's under your charge that matter. It's about taking care of those who are under your charge. How are you taking care of the people underneath you is the question.
Yeah.
I want to finish with these statements, and whichever one sticks out to you, I want you to just speak into it. Okay? So I'm just going to get these statements out, okay? Listen carefully. Let me hear it, bro. Get it?
Give them ears.
So first one is the best leaders obsess about adding, empowering, or developing the right people. Develop before empowerment. You don't just empower people, you develop them for the empowerment that's coming.
I feel
Prepare.
that. I like that.
Preparation, man.
Yeah.
It's important.
It's a lot of work, but it's definitely fulfilling.
That's good.
160%. Leaders always have to keep growing.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
We have to keep growing.
That's a process. It's getting uncomfortable and growing. Yeah.
Literally, we're already in this year. I'm already in 5 books. Why am I reading? Because I love reading? Tan locos, bro.
He reads a lot.
Bro, that's a lot. That is a lot.
I'm reading because of the people that I'm serving.
Yeah.
They need things, and I'm going to be the answer to those things to help them get better. You know what I'm saying? So leaders always keep growing. Service over status.
Yeah.
Character over comfort. We over me.
That's a good one.
That's
a good one.
valuable. That's valuable, just recognizing the team you have and not realizing you're independent, doing it all on your own.
160%.
Because at the end of the day, if it's all on you, it's going to fall with you.
This is a team effort. This podcast, team effort.
Yeah.
It's
If
not a-
this was
it's not
on
a
one,
Danny.
it
It's not a
probably wouldn't
Danny.
have
It's
kept
not
going.
me.
Arnold,
It's
it's
No.
not a Johnny.
You
It
hear
is.
us about this podcast, the one word I'm pretty sure, you better make sure. Don't make me go back on this. The one word you always hear from us is
Yeah.
we. When we refer to the podcast,
Yeah.
we're always going to say,
Yeah.
well, we decided, not I decided. Or
Yeah,
Johnny.
that is very true.
We. If you always hear us, it's literally what we say every time is we.
It's good.
You know what I'm saying? Basically, attitude and mentality matter first before in leadership thinking.
Yeah, because if you got a bad attitude, you're never going to start sometimes.
160%.
Or you're never going to have the right perspective on the stuff, so yeah.
100%. True leadership is not about control. It's about service. Boy, it's speaking volumes to me.
That's good.
It's hitting back memories of the things.
Yeah.
It's not about power. It's about empowerment.
Yeah.
Very true.
It's not about manipulation. It's about inspiration. Leadership is not about power. It is about purpose.
Yeah.
It's more about becoming than you doing things. I tell you what, it's harder to try to do something than it is to become it, be it.
Yeah.
Trapped in every single follower is a hidden leader. Inside every single one,
Everybody's a
everybody.
leader.
Not just us,
Everyone.
Yeah.
Now, whether you walk in that or not is a different story. but it is inside of you.
Yeah.
Every human was created to lead, and designed to dominate. Every single one of them.
We talked about that just a while ago.
We just talked about that a little while ago.
Yeah.
Leadership potential resides on the inside of every single individual. The potential to be a leader is there as well.
Oh, yeah.
You were born to lead, but you must become that leader.
Exactly. Because then it stays as potential. So that adds to it. You can't just keep it at a potential.
Honestly said that to this one youth student. This youth student said to me one time, he said, "What if I don't want to be a leader?" My response was, "Well, that means you'll be living a lie the rest of your life." God, dog.
Straight up.
True leadership is not about maintaining followers, but to reproduce leaders.
Exactly.
Leaders keep it simple. We don't overcomplicate things.
Yeah.
Direct and to the point.
Direct and to the point. Kind and gentle, but to the point.
Yeah.
True leaders are the key to a new world.
Oh, that's very true. Which is what we need.
Heck yeah.
We need it right now.
You ain't wrong. Good leaders employ others. Great leaders deploy themselves and others.
Yeah.
Leadership is not a right, it's a privilege. Something that you get, it's a privilege. You earn leadership. You don't just get given a position. If I got when I have been placed in a position, I always wanted to get to the point to where the leaders want to follow me because they want to, not because they have to.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like I want to follow them.
Yeah.
Do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Leadership is not something you pursue. It's something you discover.
Mm-hmm.
Leadership is a relay race.
Yeah, it is. I think it's valuable to recognize just the opportunity when the day comes, you pass that baton
That's
on.
what I was thinking about. It's like handing off the baton.
Yeah. True success, I think, comes not after all the work you've put in, but it's a matter of how it goes beyond you. So when
100%.
you pass, how far will it go? Will it die with you, or will it be carried on?
And a relay is not a one-person thing.
100%.
You got to hand off to somebody.
It's a team effort. Come
and say
on.
finish the race. Yeah.
Let's think of legit. Leaders without moralities are dangerous.
You just running loose at that point.
100%.
You running loose.
Leaders need accountability.
Very much so. Yep.
Leaders don't see with their eyes, but but with their belief, their faith.
Man.
Leadership begins with self-discovery of who you are. Begins with identity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True leaders don't need to maintain everything they learn, but to give to others.
Exactly. That's what makes
I
a
love
leader.
that
That's what makes a
generosity.
leader, you know.
Yeah.
100%.
Distributing it to everybody else.
Yes. Leadership is not about comfort. It is about discomfort.
Yeah.
When you're present with discomfort, that means you're growing.
If things are not changing and you're in the room, are you really a leader?
Yeah.
That's
Because with comfort, you just stay in your same area.
exactly. I'm always making an intention to change people's minds and change people's lives. Like, hey, so what are you growing in? What are you dreaming about? And they're like, well, I was thinking of this. How are we going to get there?
Yeah.
Let me sit with you. Let me do it with you.
Yeah.
I just changed. Leaders should not seek to protect their reputation, but they should seek to protect their character. Position is not as important as disposition. Basically, a clear understanding of your attitude and mind and mentality. Let me end it with this one. Leaders never wait. They're always willing to jump first.
Real.
Yeah.
That means
I
from
feel
now,
that.
You know
I
what I'm
feel
saying?
that. Yeah. I feel that. I think we already have too many people waiting. That's the problem.
Yes.
Yeah.
We got this world is so good with just waiting. But also it's like jumping out in the right direction. I think we also have a lot of people that just jump out, just do anything, but it's not always
Yeah.
so healthy like sometimes what they do, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Obviously, I'm guilty of being a guy who potentially, without the accountability, thankful to you too, like I would jump out and do anything. It could be the wildest, craziest idea, and I would do it. And it's just a matter of what's
seen it, bro.
what's a
He's
good
very
idea,
bold.
what's not. And so
very
it's
bold.
really having accountability, having a group of people that you can go to and present these ideas to, and just don't just jump just to jump, but find a plan, create a plan, be sure it's in line with your character, your vision, your integrity, your morals, all of it. make sure it lines up and lines up with you. It's not something that's sporadic and just a whim.
100%. So where should we draw the line?
Man,
I think based off of everything that we just said, like what kind of are you just going to be the position of just a leader? Or are you going to also walk out in the function of that position as well? 'Cause a lot of people just like to be in the position. But most of the times that gets old. You know,
Really
you get so comfortable that you're just going by, doing whatever, you know, but sometimes you gotta be the difference maker and be the example too. So like what kind of leader do you want to be? What do you want to be remembered
100%.
by? Who are you following that you also want to mimic at that point, you know? What kind of leaders are you looking up to that you already like, man, they're doing a great job. I wanna take in what they've been teaching me and apply it. And so
yeah.
there's just so many things when it comes to leadership that you can draw the line in. You want to be a lazy leader, a mediocre leader, one that is already walking this earth and considers themselves a leader.
Yeah.
The ones that look nice and pretty and good and great, but not are actually leading people, you know? So it's just like, what kind of leader do you want to be? You know?
Definitely. I think something else as far as drawing the line is like, for those listening, I don't know who'd be listening right now, but just realize that you are a leader. Like we're all leaders on the inside. And so no matter you stepping out, but also for those who are already leaders, those who recognize their leadership, who are you pouring into? Who are you growing? Who are you helping develop to build up to a place where you can deploy them? There's so many people that we pass up as leaders we may think don't have it. And I've been guilty of being a guy who just didn't think someone didn't have it. And it's like, I can't think that way anymore. Like I have to think everyone has an opportunity. And
Or
it's like,
discredit
yeah, or
somebody.
discredit someone just because they may have made a mistake. It's like I got to realize everyone has an opportunity to step back up. Everyone has an opportunity to grow. And so don't discredit someone. Even someone you've known all your life, you may think like they don't deserve it or whatnot. Like pour some life into them, love on them, and help them step up to that next level, just as you do.
100%. I agree.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, bro.
I was going to say, Danny, you go.
Okay, I'm just going to wrap it up. So basically, prepare your replacement.
Yeah.
The current state of life that you're in, is it worth replicating?
Yeah.
That makes sense?
That's a good question.
Prepare your replacement. And is your life right now, this state of life you are right now, is it worth replicating? Do we need more of that?
Yeah.
Or do we need something else?
Good thing to ask yourself.
Basically, where I draw the line is something practical. Read one book a month, one podcast a week, attend a conference one time a year. Anyone can steer the ship, but it takes a leader to chart the course.
Come on.
You're going to be a leader. You're going to be a great leader, and we can't wait to see the reproduction and your success
Oh, yeah.
after you pass.
Come on.
We love you guys.
Much
Y'all are
love.
awesome.
You guys, thank you guys for staying here with us and participating. If you ever have any questions, again, if there's a topic you want to talk about, at the
Yes.
end of every podcast, there is a questionnaire at the end that you can just answer. Like, hey, what do you want to talk about? We don't want to just talk about things that we
Yeah, not
we
for
like.
real.
What do you want to talk about?
100%.
But anyways, we're deucing out. Much love to you guys. Arnold out.
Danny, peace.
Love you guys.
Cool.